The first few sessions we just did these basic sceneries, right? Pretty plain. We didn't add like a whole lot of details to it. And later we learned single stroke curves and straight lines, and we did this tree with that technique. And later we added leaves or flowers to it with scumbling techniques, right? So today we are going to learn drawing simple flowers, like using those simple plus dot techniques and to in a single stroke, right? Now let's do curves. Again, it's all about connecting dots, but now we are going to use our wrist. It's not going to be from elbow or shoulder. We are just going to connect two dots. Okay, so I'm going to do the same, just practice a few times, and then I'm going to put my pencil down slowly. Okay, so if you practice these two single strokes, you should be able to draw pretty much anything. So we're going to use this, and we're going to draw flowers, and we will add a lot of stems or branches to it. Okay, so you don't really need to tape your paper today, because we are not going to do any background, just going to be flowers and little branches or stems behind them. All right, let me show you with marker so you can see how I'm drawing. Then later you can do it in pastels, so you don't really have to follow me when I'm doing with markers. Once I'm done with this, then we'll go for pastel, then you can follow my drawing. Okay, so I'm going to put a stem. Okay, so just going to connect these two, right? And then I'm going to take it the other side, and then I'm going to go for a little longer curve. Then it's going to be branch out from there. So I'm going to take another branch from here, and then we can take out from here, and then you can branch out, then you can do it from here, right? Then we can add flowers here, then we can add like buds. We can add a small flower here and a couple of buds, small flower. You can branch out another small flowers and buds, right? Right, it's easy, right? But drawing flower or get that shape is not so easy. We can draw the stems or branches with single stroke techniques. It could be either straight line or curve. You could use one of those two techniques and you can draw the branches. But for flowers, let me teach you a few techniques. First one is called like dot techniques. Now you are going to put a dot in the center. It's the basic, very basic flower drawing technique. You're going to put a dot in the center, and you're going to put a few dots around them, a number of petals that you need. I'm going to put like a few, maybe 5 of them. So I'll put 5 around these dots. And we are going to convert these dots into like petals, flowers. You can use blending stems, swabs, color shapers, whatever you have, or even tissue will do. So I'm going to use blending stem. So we're going to convert this into those dots into petals, and then it will look like a flower. Of course, it's just going to be a basic flower drawing. Right, and then you can, if you want, you can add more details to that we will see in the next session. Okay, you can convert into flower. But in case if you do not have control over the dots, or if you don't get that shape, maybe you can draw a circle first, and then you can put a dot in the center, and the number of petals that you want, you can put those number of dots around them. That's going to be easy. In case if you think this is not so easy for you, let me show you another super easy technique. You can do it with cross or X. Okay, if you think you do not have control over these dots, you can just put dots around them, and you can make it as a flower too. You can put like X number of lines. The same goes for X as well. In case if you need more petals, you need to add more lines to it. Or let's say if you think this is not easy, then that's another one. I know everyone know how to draw 8, right? So we can just use that. You can put an 8, then you're going to put an 8 the other side. You are done. That's going to be super simple. In case if you want to add like more petals, then you can just make your 8 little thin. Okay, we can do that. All right, so now let's use pastel and try to do these flowers. All right, so I'm going to use 2 shades of single color. One I'm going to use Lake Crimson 38 and pink 15. So I'm going to use these 2 colors, but I'll leave it to you guys if you prefer like different colors. You can use 2 different colors, 2 different contrasting colors, or you can use same color with different shades, light and dark. And we are going to use pencil for the stem. We are not going to use black, but we are just going to use pencil. So I'm going to outline it with 9H. It's the lightest that I have. So I'm going to outline this. So the reason I'm outlining, because later when you want to draw this flower, if you have stem across it, it will screw up your entire flower here. So I'm going to outline with the pencil, with the lightest pencil, and then I will draw the flowers, and at last I will do the stems, right? So I'm going to outline it. Right, I'm not sure if you can see my outline in the camera, but it's like super light. So now I'm going to draw the flowers using one of these techniques. I'll use with the one that I showed first. So I'm going to add the first flower here. I'm going to put a big dot. Right, and then I'm going to add I'm going to put like 5 petals, so I'm going to add 5 dots around it. Okay, let me make this a little more dark so I can blend them. So in case if you do not have blending stem, you can use cotton swabs. You should be able to blend them. So I'm going to blend the center dots with the outside 5 petal dots. It's just going to be 2-dimensional and very basic flower. Tomorrow we will add more details to it and make it a little 3D figure. Right, done with the first one. I'm going to add maybe like one more here. I'm going to add, because these are a little small stem, so I'm going to make a relatively small flower. Okay, then I'm going to add a couple of buds. So drawings like small buds are easy. It's like a U. That's it. You're just going to put an U there, and then you can just shape it out. That's it. You're done. If you want to add one more, you can do it as well. In case if you want to do it in double color, you can do that as well. So just a simple U. That's it. And then you can shape it out with one of your blending tools. Alright, so now let's add a small flower here too. So it's going to be the same pattern. So put a dot and then number of petals that you want. Then just connect them. Fill those spaces. Fill those gaps that you see. Then we'll need to add one more here. Maybe I can add a little bit. So I'm just using the red dot to spread that across the petals, so you'll have that a little realistic look. And then you can do the edges. So we can add a little more dots here as well. Just a U. We'll convert that into a bud. Right? So maybe we can add a little big bud or a small flower. So I'm going to make it like a little big U. You can just shape that up. Alright, so I'll do one more small flower here. Alright. And let's add a few more small ones. Just use. Need to make it double color on this. And just shape them up. Right, so we're done with flowers. Now we can use our pencil. I'm using 8B, the darkest that I have. So I'm going to make the stems a little dark, but tomorrow we'll be using black pastel that will be more vibrant and realistic. So I'm going to thicken these branches. You see, it starts thick and then it's going to go a little light, not small. So it's going to branch out. Then we're going to add a little base to that, but If you see the flower base, then you're going to add this, the else it should be fine since it's just a 2D level of flower. Right, maybe we can add this lot of space here. Maybe we can just take a little more, a branch, and then add a small part. Yep, and that's pretty much all. Maybe we can add a little more detail to it. It will give you a little more realistic feel. Of course, it's just a 2D picture, so, and a very simple flower drawing technique. That's it. So from this to this, so we just used two techniques for the stems or the branches. We used a single stroke, curve, and straight line. I think I used curve for the most part, but it's up to you if you want to use straight line or mix them both. It should be fine as well. So you can use one of those two, single stroke, to draw the branches or the stems, and to add flowers to it you can use one of these four techniques. So I use the first one. So it's going to be a super basic flower drawing technique or cherry blossom flower drawing technique, and tomorrow we will add details to it. We will start to add more detail to the flower and make them a little 3D. Right, so that's all for today. Right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.